Well, when momentum swung their way, my message to the guys is we've been here before, and you know that this team, 2 out of the last 3 games, 3 out of the last 4 games, blew out Creighton, blew out Butler, lost to Villanova by 3, and won a close game against Xavier. So they're a terrific home court team that's playing better and better and better in month of January and February. So I said, don't panic. We've been here before. We're going to have our run. And they 100% didn't panic, played like a veteran team, and so proud of these two guys. And Bryce, once again, for the second time in 3, won the Big Bell Award. We rang the bell in the locker room, and Bryce has won it 2 out of 3 times, which is great. One of the more prestigious awards he'll ever get in his lifetime. So it was a great win, really proud of the guys, and we continue to be undefeated on the road.
Rick, what did you think of the defense the last 11 plus? I mean, I think there was an 8-minute stretch where you held them to 5 points.
Yeah, look, Nigel James is tough to guard because he's not going to stop until he gets to the rim. And we're trying to take away the three-point shot, which we did, I thought, an excellent job of it. There was 6 for 21. Zuby wasn't having a great night, but he came through down the stretch defensively with block shots and good plays, and that's a veteran right there. He ended up with 6 rebounds and 10 points when he didn't have a rebound, didn't have a basket in the first half.
Bryce, what did the way your teammates had your back on Saturday, what did that mean to you? And then to kind of have their back tonight with one of your best games of the year?
It meant a lot for me, to see them have my back on Saturday. I'm not going to get too much into it, but, it meant a lot for them to see that. They told me before the game that they were going to have my back. We knew what type of environment we were going into, and, this brotherhood that we keep on building, we love it, and, it starts in practice, and, we just play off of each other, and we love each other, so, yeah.
Ozai, what did you think of Bryce tonight, especially in that 17-5 run? I think he scored 10 of your points there.
Yeah, no, Bryce, he was great tonight. He definitely carried us down the stretch, made a lot of good plays, and, yeah, we definitely need that tonight, and I'm glad we won.
What did you think of what you guys started to do differently the last 11-plus minutes on the defensive end? It seemed like a different defensive team there.
We just been trying to find ways to win. We were down for a minute. Coach told us not to panic, so we didn't. And we found a way to get stops.
Rick, this team is kind of leading into a lot of that same quality that last year's team had of, being able to kind of flip a switch late in the game, especially defensively. What are you seeing in this group when games get tight in the second half that allows them to?
Well, it's just what I told Zuby. I said, Zuby, I don't care that you had a bad first half. That's the past. We're just worried about winning this game. You just make the great plays to win us the game. Don't worry about the first half. Sometimes you got to give the other team credit for playing great defense. And Zuby, you got to now come through for us. But Bryce made big plays down the stretch, big rebounds, big free throws. And I told him before the game, I said, look, it's tough to win on the road. What you're accomplishing is very difficult in this Big East because everybody plays well at home. And they're just for each other. Like Bryce just said, we're trying to build a brotherhood. It's really difficult. Bryce never knew Ozai. Bryce never knew Zuby. Ozai never knew Deku. They didn't know each other. So you can't build a brotherhood overnight. You got to go through some tough times. And adversity brings them close together, and those early games brought them close together, and they don't panic. They don't panic. They just picked up their defense, made good plays on offense, and that's the way you win on the road. Make your free throws, and don't be afraid of failure.
Bryce, when you hear their fans chanted the name tonight, did that motivate you? Did you care about that?
No, I didn't care about it. I was already expecting it, coming into the game. I knew I was going to hear it, probably going to hear it for the rest of the year. I don't really care about it. I'm just focused on my guys. We're playing for something much bigger than any narratives that people are trying to build, and that's that.
For either of you two guys, you're now
Ash Wednesday. It's great with Catholics, isn't
it? You're now all alone atop the Big East with 5 games to go. UConn lost to Creighton today. Does that? It's only 5 games left. You can kind of see the finish line. Is that something you guys will think about, talk about, or is it we can't even look at that now?
We still have to prepare the same way. We still have 5 tough games, and we have to take it one game at a time, one day at a time in practice. We can't overlook any opponent because it's easy to let a game slip. So we just have to stay locked into every opponent and prepare the same way in practice. I think we're going to do a great job. We're not going to slack off.
Rick, Marquette's one of the top teams in the country at forcing steals. What was your strategy tonight to defend against their pressure?
Well, don't dribble the ball. If you notice, when they did get their steals, Joe Son dribbled the ball, Zuby dribbled the ball, Bryce would dribble the ball. We wanted to move the basketball and take them out of their gaps. And about 90% of the game, we did an excellent job. Obviously, we shot terrific for the game, especially in the first half. Second half, we didn't shoot as well, but we made our free throws. Sometimes stats can be misleading if you get to the line. Like if you look at the stat sheets, they only shot 33% in the second half, but got to the line. That doesn't account for percentages.
Rick, obviously Royce Parham has been playing very well lately. He scored 11 points.
Slow down. Who did you say?
Royce Parham been playing very well
big guy.
lately.
Yeah.
And he scored 11 points in the first half, but then you guys were able to get him in foul trouble in the second half and kind of take him out of the equation offensively. How big was that for you guys?
Well, I always judge people say, well, what do you think of this guy as a coach? And I said, look, if I don't see him practice, I can't really tell you. Now, I've seen a lot of practices and with some great coaches, reputation-wise, and was in the pros. After watching practice, he does a nice job. And then I watched some other guys that said, oh, he's a decent coach. Great practice. So the fact that Marquette is losing and their players are getting better and they never give up, that's a sign of a great coach because their players are getting better. It's very easy to feel sorry for yourself when you're losing, but this team won 3 out of 4 on the road. Had Villanova beat at Villanova. It was an excellent team. So you don't look at records. Obviously, I don't have to tell you how good Shaka is. You all know that. But his players get better. They all get better, and that's, to me, a sign of a great coach.
Rick, you brought Ozai off the bench. Was that just because of the ankle and missing some practice or anything there?
For a number of reasons. He missed practice, and he's the only one outside of Zuby that started the whole year. And I was trying to give Joe Son some confidence. Nothing to do with him, but with the utmost confidence, but trying to get Joe Son a little bit feeling better about himself.
And Ozai, you hit a few threes. They haven't been really falling for you. Was it good to see some go in? And Rick.
It's nice that he would take some.
What did you think of hitting a few there? And how's your ankle?
My ankle is feeling a little better. But yeah, it felt good to obviously hit threes. Shooters are gonna shoot through misses, so I'm not gonna stop shooting. So it felt good.
Shooters going to shoot, okay.
You're going to remind him of that next?
I'm going to yell that out. Shooters going to shoot.